Oh, maybe I gotta do this. There we go. Now we should be live. Okay, that's weird. Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. A little technical difficulty. I guess we have to do the introduction all over again. Um, I'm Paul, the creator and artist of Canada Bear, and I'm joined with me the writer of the Canada Bear series, Sean Wilson, and co-artist Matt will be joining us here shortly. He had to go around and do some errands. Sean, do you want to
Yeah.
introduce yourself again?
Oh yeah. This is Sean, and I'm the writer for Canada Bear. Yeah, Paul's saying again because we're still learning how to do all this fun live stuff. So technical difficulties. Um, I am uh, drinking a nice BrewDog beverage,
Nice.
and it's gonna be a fun show. Paul's gonna be drawing and coloring and doing all this art stuff, and I'm just gonna be here drinking a beer and chatting.
Nice. And also, we're doing this to promote our current Indiegogo campaign, which is right here. Oh, get that up. Is right there. As you can see, we're doing really well so far. We still have 27 days left. We're at 23%. We do have a lot of good perks. We have the digital versions of issues 1 through 3 for only $5. Signed copies of issues 1 through 3 for 15. We added a hardcover with variant for 35. We only have a 20 limit on that, so there's 17 spaces left. And then finally, we have a custom sketch cover done by Matthew Critchfield. We have 6 spaces left for that as well. Go right here. And since you guys couldn't hear us last time, probably they couldn't see anything, I'm going to be coloring this poster that Matthew Critchfield drew, and we'll be doing a giveaway on this poster at the end of the stream or midway through it as well. Is that beer good, Sean?
It's delicious. It's a small can, 9.5% alcohol.
Yeah.
It's strong.
Rough day.
It was a long day. A long, fun day.
Long fun day.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Why does not let me? That's odd. I gotta touch some stuff up that Matt did. Ah, there we go. There's the issue. Non-connected lines are not a colorist friend.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
I even know that, and I'm not an artist.
There we go. So what I'm doing now is that I'm starting the color flats on each character. Actually, I gotta flat everything. So how I do that is that I figure out the light source. And what I was explaining before our debacle, that we have to find out the light source of each piece. And since Matt drew the clouds on the left and right hand side, I'm going to have my light source. What is it? That's so weird. There we go. Oh, that's fine. Okay. Now the light source from here. So if we draw a V, it's going to be lighter here and darker here. So that's what I'm doing now. Like I said, Matt should be joining us soon. I have to check something, see if he's trying to get in the call. Not yet. Okay. So how's the writing going so far, bud?
About as far as it was last time you asked. far ahead still.
Parts, okay. So when I like doing the flats, I like using gradients to get in the correct value, and I have to do that piece by piece. Now it's nice by using the selection tool, I don't have to create a new layer every time.
Well, that's smart.
Yes. There we go.
White for the rest of the issues.
What's that?
I'm happy we're going black and white. I'm looking at the preview pages.
Yeah, the I do like the black and white concept.
Mm-hmm.
And the benefit of that too is that it's a bit less expensive too.
A bit less expensive. It's like a whole like like $20 cheaper total wise.
Yeah.
So how's your cat doing today? I hear
Cat's
he got a
doing
new
well.
comfy bed.
He did.
He looks like a Chinese cookie in it.
He looks like a Chinese cookie in it. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's being pretty spoiled. Scott's spoiling him more than I ever did.
I know. It's as if Scott should get his own cat too.
He should. He should.
Guess we'd have two cats there. What do you have a best friend?
Yeah.
And then you can suffer like I suffer with my two girls.
You suffer?
No, I don't suffer. They're the best cats in the whole wide world.
Mm-hmm.
I have two cats. Everybody, their names are Tasty and Nibbles. One's a chunk, it's Nibbles.
Mm-hmm.
And one's a gymnast, Tasty. And they're follow me around wherever I go in this apartment. Currently, one is sleeping in their cat bed. The other one is somewhere. I don't know where. She was just in here.
I just fed Woody, so hopefully he doesn't bother me.
Oh, they had kibble.
They had kibble?
Yeah, they still had some food left over from earlier.
I really like Matt's line work here. He kind of took the way that I do shadows and block shapes and took it to a different level, which I really like. Definitely gives that bold graphics feel.
Yeah, he does. It does look good. Issue 3 is looking pretty good too.
Mm-hmm. And when Matt gets here, he's probably going to show his progress on that as well.
Oh, we get 15% off our next door. That's cool.
We do?
Oh, wait, never mind. That doesn't work. The email doesn't work anymore. It's our old email account.
That's not cool. I forgot that I have that branding there. Hold on. I gotta get rid of that. There we go.
My account.
So how's everyone doing? Like, we have, what, 4 people watching so far?
Yeah, anybody want to make a comment? Say hello? Ask questions?
Mm-hmm.
Paul's coloring in a blue furry dude. It's not Sully from Monsters, Inc.
Yeah. Totally not. See what the issue here. Section 2 doesn't always pick up everything. There we are. I usually like to work like the color without the white background because I can see what I do select.
Yeah, usually you like to do layers, and
Oh yeah.
does you have like 800 layers for one page most of the time.
At least they add up quickly too.
Yeah, you have a lot of layers.
Mm-hmm.
You're whenever Paul shows me stuff in Photoshop or whatever he's working on with Canada Bear,
Mm-hmm.
he had so many layers that his Photoshop screen looks like an onion because layers.
Yeah, that's true. Alright, now I'm going to try to get the flats with his armor. I gotta say, Bear Trap's probably the most detailed character out of them all.
Yeah, pretty much between him and Numbskull.
Yeah.
Numbskull can be pretty detailed, depending on who's drawing them.
Mm-hmm. Oops. Okay.
.24 by 36 is what the poster size will be.
24 by 36. Yeah, I knew it's somewhat close to that. See what that's it. Okay.
Huh.
What's up?
Well, that's cool.
What's up, buddy?
I'm on Vistaprint. Apparently we could order 11 by 17 posters for bulk shipping, 100 of them for only under $70.
Oh, that's a sweet deal.
So that's pretty nifty.
Mm-hmm.
They can be glossy or matte
I think always the matte looks a little bit better.
finish. For posters, yes,
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's our preference for posters. So that's pretty cool. It's good to know. What is my cat doing? Hold on. I'll be right back.
Let's see. How's everyone doing? Hey Chris, how you doing, buddy? Just to let you know, Chris. After this, I'm done coloring this poster. We're doing a giveaway. What was it? Sean, you're coming back. Was it 36 by 24? You said.
Let's see. Oh, do we have a question?
No,
The poster?
we have Chris that came in.
Oh, yeah, Chris. It'll be whoever is lucky enough to win this week's giveaway is going to win a poster of what Paul's coloring in. And the cool thing about it is it's going to be a 36 by 24 poster. It'll be a full-size poster. You see that sweet Canada Bear poster behind Paul that would look great in my apartment someday when I decide to grab it back?
Yeah.
It's that size. That's how big the poster is going to be. And it's the image you see on your screen right now. It's going to look amazing. And if you prefer in black and white, if you win, you can get it in black and white instead.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
That is an option.
Because it looks dope either way. Yeah, I know, right, Chris? And since you commented, guess what? You're way ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm switching to my my comfy seat, which is my floor right now, because I don't have a computer chair yet. Oh God.
I don't have a good one.
I need a chair. I'm sitting on a stool.
Yeah.
Remember the stools we had? My old stools for my table I had.
Yeah,
that's what I'm sitting on.
Oh, jeez.
The bar stools.
Yeah, those are awful.
So they suffice right now.
Yeah, I guess.
So I need to find my wireless. Oh, maybe I do have it.
Well, one of the topics.
My wireless mouse.
Yeah.
Ow.
One of the topics I did want to talk about, and I mean, you and kind of need a like breaking into comics. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't know how to or want to, just don't know where to start. And I guess to start the conversation, I'll ask you, what is your advice?
My advice is, okay, so you want to get into the comic biz. Okay, my advice is this: find a friend who can draw. If you're a writer like me, I looked out and Paul had all the characters, the mythology, everything basically ready, and I just had to write the stories. some people don't have that much luck. Um, my brother is currently writing a comic book as well. Um, he had an artist, and then that artist, I guess, stopped working on it, but he's got another person. Um, if you want to be a writer, there's a bunch of groups on Facebook you can join. There's You can go on Reddit. Reddit has a good comic books indie comic book thing
Yeah.
for writers and for artists, and you can get contacts that way. Um, Go to your local comic book shop because if you go to your local comic book shop and become friends with the people that work there, um, in particular for us, we have friends at 3 local comic book shops by us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they know people. They know people that can draw really well, and they know people that are writing stuff. So they talk to everybody, and they will give you information and put you towards the right person to talk to if you want to go more local. Um, like I said, I lucked out, and Paul is a really good artist, and he knows I'm a really good writer, and we've been wanting to make a comic book since we were teenagers, or
Mm-hmm.
not even teenagers, kids in elementary school. Still, I think we were
Yeah,
in
we were
fifth
young.
grade or something like that. Working on a bunch of projects in my parents' basement living room area, family
Yeah.
room. Um, so, or out on the Paul's parents' deck. Like we've had this goal in life for a while, and we really want this to take off, and we're very proud of how far it's come. Since
Mm-hmm.
looking back at the first issue, Paul probably wants to throw up whenever he sees the first issue that we did for
No, that
Canada Bear.
happens.
Um, but that's because Paul's a perfectionist and he wants everything to look great. And to me, that first issue was phenomenal. It was fun and it was great. And once you get your book written and drawn, I highly recommend you go back to those local shops, tell them that your book is done and you're going to be getting it printed.
Yeah.
Um, it sucks because it's going to be expensive. Well, not that expensive. Depends on who you go with. We have a company that we're going with. But the other company we used to go with is still exceptionally good, and we still would highly recommend them because the quality that they give you is phenomenal.
I mean, I guess we can
Once
give
you
the
find,
names to them if you want.
I don't remember the new one.
The new one
I
is
don't have it in front of me.
it's all right. I know it. I it's called Mixum.
Um,
Or
Make some.
yeah, Mixum. Mixam. Mixum. Mixam.
Okay.
Um, they're
And
very
the
good.
other one, I know the other one.
Yeah.
And then the one we went with before was Greco, which we've had no issues with them. There was one time we got we had an issue where they messed up a couple pages. They blew them up, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And they fixed it, right? They sent us
Hmm.
new books,
Yeah. I mean, everything was
so
fixed.
we never had issues with them.
Mm.
Um, they were fine. Um, but once you get your book published, it doesn't have to be published. We're talking about going and getting your book printed, and then get your copyright once you get it printed. Um, Copyright is another deal. We can go in another, but get your books printed, go to your local shop, work out a deal with them. Greco's great because you can print 25 issues and have a set price. And
Mm-hmm.
once you get those books, like I said, go to your local shops, let them know, barter, not barter, but like work out a deal, figure out a price that works for the both of you, that you're willing to do. Some shops will buy your books outright and then sell them. You tell them what price to sell them, and then they'll sell them. Some shops will take your books and um, they'll buy your books and then sell them so that they can make a buck, and that's fine. Basically, and then you work those contacts, and then when like comic book conventions come around again, a lot of these local shops run the local comic book cons.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great to be friends with them because they can let you know when the show's coming up, when to get your paperwork in, or just all around. They basically word of mouth. They
Yeah.
It doesn't exist as much anymore as it used to, but um, the comic book shops that you get your book in, or they will, if they really really truly like you, um, as a person and as a friend, they will do anything to help you out. And one once you have that, then you're set because
Mm-hmm.
you'll have um local people, local and people in the area shopping, and they'll be like, "Oh, what's that? Oh, it's Canada Bear. What's Canada Bear about?" And then the guy working behind the counter can be like, "Oh, that's a local artist and writer. They're from such and such area."
Yeah.
And then the person will be like, "Oh, really? They're from right, basically like right down the street. Yeah. Um, can I get this?" And like talking to their dad or mom or something. Because our book is more for kids. It didn't start out that way. It was gonna be darker. Canterbury was gonna be really. It would start out kind of like Ninja Turtles. How Ninja Turtles was dark at first,
Yeah.
and then it became the '80s show that's everybody loves and I love so much.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was gonna be darker. But then we realized that a lot of kids love our book, and the humor is great in that the way that I write. It's good to where kids can enjoy it and parents can get a laugh out of it too, just because of the crazy characters and crazy situations that happens in the story.
Yeah,
Um,
and to add to what you were saying about the local comic book shops having their own little comic cons, those are the best ones to start out at as well.
oh yeah,
I mean, I
for
wouldn't.
sure.
I mean, if you make a product, I'm not saying like not try the big conventions, but those are the most expensive. I mean, we did Wizard World, Cleveland, and Columbus in 2018, and correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, Cleveland was 300 a table, right? And Columbus was 350. Is that right?
No,
Or okay, I
no.
see. I'm
Cleveland
wrong.
was Cleveland. Cleveland was 350.
Okay,
Columbus was 375.
okay, 375.
The difference, the problem with so Cleveland was great because Cleveland was during spring break and all the kids were at home
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, so everybody could go to the show. And the Cleveland show was a lot better. There was a lot more people and it was
Yeah,
better.
yeah, I definitely
Better
liked it.
overall.
Yeah.
Plus the layout was a lot better. I liked having the artists dispersed throughout by the whatchamacallit, the vendors,
Mm-hmm.
like comic book vendors, because then it was like a comic book vendor on one side, artists on the other side, so people were going into these shops and coming back and forth and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Basically coming in, hitting our tables. At Columbus, the location was not that good. They put all of the vendors on one side of the room. They put all the artists and creators on the other side of the room. You
Yeah.
couldn't really you were in a dead zone. Our spot was terrible. We were at the far left. We were at the front of the place, but at the off in the corner. Um, and it was terrible. Like people would even walk down our row because there was nothing else to look at besides us.
Yeah.
Um, and we had 3 issues out. No, was it 3 issues out or did we have two?
Yeah. We
Was it
had
just the
three.
first two?
We had
Three
three.
issues. We had the first
Yeah.
3 issues out. We were debuting issue 3 at this convention,
Yeah.
and it was terrible. The timing of it was terrible because we were at Ohio State University, basically in
Mm-hmm.
Columbus, Ohio, during the summer where there's no students on campus. That is, I'm sorry, that is the dumbest time to have a comic book convention in Columbus.
Yeah.
There's nobody that's going to be in town to buy your stuff because they're not going to be there.
Yeah.
So, what did Wizard World end up doing, Paul? After that convention and how terrible it was and everybody hated it, the people next to us left
Yeah.
a day early and they live in Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but this is how bad it was. They changed the date for the next following year for Wizard World Columbus to October in Columbus
Yeah.
during school session.
Well, you know, that
I
those
don't
are
like
very
them.
good points. But what I wanted to get at was you
I
want to
was getting
start
there.
small. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So so what Paul was saying, going small. I highly agree, and we've had a lot more success at smaller conventions. Because they're cheaper. Sometimes you can get a table for free. Um, the only downside is it's free, and you hope that someone will come by your table and buy your stuff.
Yeah,
We've been to a free convention before and sold absolutely one item, um,
that was
to
the
because this person wanted to buy a book for their first grade class.
yeah
Their Had she would have told us that she wanted to buy the single issue for her first grade class, I would have given her the graphic novel for half the price.
yeah yeah
I mean, I would want them to read it because it's fun and kids like superheroes, and
yeah
our superhero's a fat grizzly bear
yeah.
punches things, especially the um, salmon guy.
Yes, the salmon.
Oh,
So, um, what was I gonna say? Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. I have a lot of those. Um, Also, I get a lot of questions of if the comic book is online via like webtoons or own website, and what do you think about that? What I mean that you're always gonna have an audience in some way. I mean, you can put your book online, and people are still gonna want a physical copy. So what do you think about that, Sean? Do you think that's like a good way to build an audience?
um, a lot of people that are doing like the webtoons and stuff, they
Mm-hmm.
update weekly.
Yeah.
I follow a couple books on webtoons. They update weekly. Um, what what I don't want that's great and all if you are the writer and the artist
Yeah.
um for the book, and you can update whenever you want, and have your own timetable. But and if you do weekly, 'cause there's a lot of people that have success with that, and it's also because of social media and marketing and stuff like that, and storytelling and everything. To me, our book was on webtoons. The first issue was on webtoons. Um, and it was cool. It was great. I liked having it up there. Um, but I'm always a purist when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to this stuff. Like I don't want my book online for free.
Yeah.
I love all you guys. Don't get me wrong. I love our the people that buy our book and everything. But um, I I don't want it online for free. Like
Yeah.
I'm not I'm against it to an extent. Like if you're an up and coming artist and writer, and you're drawing your own book and writing your own book, and you feel more comfortable doing webtoons, I support it completely because I love all the art that's on webtoons. It's amazing, and it's very creator friendly. Um,
Yeah.
but
Is Sean, you still there, bud?
me,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still there.
It cut out for a little bit.
Oh, um,
You're
it
good.
just I don't know. I feel if you want to do like online comics, of it's fine. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you should be selling your book in stores. If you are starting out and you don't have the money to get the books printed, then hell yeah, do it online if it's free.
Yeah, I think that's a good
Um,
point.
oh, but like Webtoons is great now because they have a pay feature.
Yeah.
A lot of the Webtoons I follow, um, their artists and writer. This is why I said about being great if it's the one person doing everything. Um, is there far in advance. They're posting. They got ahead of the curve, ahead of the game, and they're posting one. But if you buy a certain amount of coins on Webtoons, you can advance the week and go to the next issue
Mm-hmm.
or next story arc, or next thing. So people are making money that way. Also, Webtoons is pretty cool. Another way is because they have a YouTube channel now. They're turning a lot of their comics that are on their website into cartoons on
Yeah.
YouTube, um, which would have been great to know ahead of time, when we were still having Canada Bear on Webtoons.
Mm-hmm.
Because then maybe we would have stayed there. But that was when we dropped that because we got picked up by Wicked at the time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's another good topic
Um,
I want to go to as well.
um, huh,
Not so much
uh,
just Wicked. I don't want to badmouth
publishing.
them. Just publishing in
No,
general.
no, we're not gonna badmouth them.
No, no, no.
I'm
But
no, they're still good people.
yeah, they're great people. It just wasn't a good fit with us.
Hmm.
And um, the point I want to get to is if you happen to, if you're new, things can get exciting, and you shouldn't jump just to the first publisher that comes to you just because you're getting published. That's what we learned, you know.
Yeah.
And my advice is do your research. It's super
Hmm.
important. And that's basically all I have to say to that.